Imagine a world where you don't even have to open a browser for answers. You just ask your AI and poof, it's there. OpenAI just launched ChatGPT Search, aiming to make that world a reality. But here's the thing, by giving us one simple, clean answer, AI might be trading out something super important, our trust and our ability to find stuff for ourselves. In this video, we're gonna break down why ChatGPT Search is a big deal and going after Google's crown. Spoiler, it's money. And we're gonna talk about what the shift to AI search means for us, the humans, and actually it might give us less choice than we had before. Let's get into it. Here it is, the new ChatGPT search interface. Looks a lot like the old interface. If you look here, if you click on this little dot, that is the world, now you are searching for stuff. It even brings up some trending topics. Tell me about the AI for Humans podcast. Now it's powered by Bing, which you may or may not know is in the background. It's also very fast. It clearly finds the direct link to the Apple podcast link, and it says AI for Humans is a podcast that explores the evolving world of artificial intelligence, blah, blah, blah. It has sources from YouTube and Apple Podcasts. And if you click on the sources, what basically comes up here are citations, which looks a lot like a Google search, right? When you look at it. Now, if you close that window, the coolest thing about ChatGPT Search is you can actually then ask a follow-up question. Tell me about one of their recurring segments. So it's now searching. Now, I don't know if it's going to know this, but it does. Okay, so it figured out dumb things we did. Now, that's a segment we don't really do as much on the show anymore, but it's something we did before. I wanted to try it more on a new news story. So let's think, what's in the news today? Well, you know who's always in the news. Let's just see. Tell me what Elon Musk did today. So it's going now. I paused it a little bit here. That's a little slower than it has been. So okay, so legal proceedings, political engagements, business ventures, public statements. Let's see, when does this public statement to the Times show up? That was from today. So, okay, we're looking at this now, and you can tell going through this that each of these has a link directly to a single story. Microsoft's Bing search engine is powering this, which is a big deal because Bing, is a relatively large search engine. They have a pretty big search index, but it has never been the greatest experience to have. Of course, you might be saying, Gavin, Perplexity exists. And yes, Perplexity does exist. It's another very popular AI search engine. I'll search for AI for Humans podcast. Stick that in there and you'll see what it comes up as a very kind of Wikipedia looking thing that pops up here. All of this is pretty good as well, but ChatGPT to me is a much bigger deal, A, because it's significantly larger, and also two, because Sam Altman himself has gone out there and talked about how good it is, and he wants to kill Google. He wants to kill Google so bad that if you look at his tweets over the last couple days, he's been going ham on ChatGPT Plus hype cycling. He says here, hey, I'm really sorry to keep hyping our own product, but you should really get ChatGPT Plus and install the Chrome extension for search. I am cheerfully the first to admit when we ship something that isn't very good, but this time it's really good. Searching for a Chrome extension is not easy, so here's the link. He literally links to the Chrome extension, which do you know what the Chrome extension does? It replaces Google search in your Chrome bar. Chrome, a company owned and created by Google themselves. So this is big business. Let's do a little Google history. Google was a fantastic search engine. I mean, if you remember the web before Google, there was like the Yahoo directory where you had to literally think, okay, what category is it? It's a book and I have to find the book I want in this thing. Google had the insight to be, if something is linking to something else, that probably means it's more important. It was human oriented. It meant that if a human has found this interesting enough to link out, that meant that this page is important and it pushed it farther up in search results. And you have to understand, Google won everything. I mean, they won big. They are a almost $1 trillion business on the back of their search product, because not only is it very good at search, but it's very good at delivering ads. Every time you search on Google, there's an ad that pops up in the side. Now, what went wrong and why are these AI companies really coming fast at Google? Lots of stuff. You know this, I know this. Google's kind of a crappy experience right now. SEO, search engine optimization, has really kind of destroyed the overall vibe of what Google could be. But if you get lucky, you might find the first result, there are still a bunch of ads that are going to be confusing to you. The thing that's always funny to me about Google is when you type in something like Nike, and that Nike has to buy the first ad above the actual result for Nike, because if they don't, one of their competitors will. That feels like a broken product. So these AI search products, especially ChatGPTs, deliver on the idea of a result, a single result. I want one result to come back and give me the answer. Now we have to talk a little bit about what's difficult about this idea and what is limiting about the idea of AI search. This gets at something that's really deep about how the internet is changing at large and how we're going to change the way we interact with the internet and what we ask AI to do for us. When you get a single result or maybe like a collection of results in a paragraph, you start to think of that as the authority, right? So the authority is no longer me choosing from all these different human generated sources. Instead, the AI is delivering me the answer to this thing. And we have to put a lot of trust in these AI systems to kind of understand that that's the case. And we are right now. Like, this is kind of, for better or for worse, that's where we're going, that we are trusting these AIs to bring us the information back. And look, I'm not saying that's not a good thing. If it can find me the right pair of shoes that I want to buy versus me having to spend 10 minutes to go do it, that's pretty cool. But it does start to change the way we look at search and just general information gathering. Why is this all happening right now? I think it's an important question to ask, and I think mostly the answer is money. When you think about how much money these AI models cost to make, it costs billions of dollars. OpenAI is going to lose billions of dollars this year. Search is still the internet's biggest cash cow. It makes money hand over fist. Facebook makes a ton of its money on ads and search. Google's entire business model, the vast majority of it, is based on search, which is why they integrated their own AI search, because they have to protect that from being sucked away from other people. If Search GPT can take 10% of Google's business and then they find a way to monetize it, that alone will solve OpenAI's money problems. But even bigger than that, and I think this is the end game that Search GPT starts to serve, is the transition to AI agents. When I discussed at the beginning of this video about the idea of asking an AI to go out and do something and bring it back to you, the end game that these AI companies are working towards, and Sam Altman himself and many other companies have said out loud, AI agents is the next thing. They want to own the entire experience. If I say to my phone and I say, hey, go find me the best pair of running shoes right now and just get them delivered to my house. If I trust my phone that much, if I trust the AI to do that much, that is a massive win for that AI company because they now control that whole pipeline. If AI agents actually work and you can actually send AIs to go off and do things for you, that is an absolute game changer and people will pay a fortune for it. Now, what does that really look like? Well, you could say it looks like Jarvis from Iron Man, like the idea that there's somebody in your ear at all times that can go out and do things for you and bring them back. But again, going back to that layer of trust, we are giving up a lot of our agency. It's funny that they're called AI agents. We're giving up our own human agency to these AIs. And I just worry that we're going to be entering a world where it's easiest for them to pick the thing that is most, that all the AIs talk about and say, this is the one. It feels like we're going to enter into a slightly more homogenized world than we live now. Has this already been happening? Yes. Has Google search already done this in a lot of ways? Yes. How many people really go to the second page of a Google search? Not many. But this is a significant transition point from what used to be like me, human, typing and finding my own way through the internet to computer finding its way through the internet and then delivering me a single result. And I feel like that's about to transform everything as we know it.